Hi everybody, this is Ospreyeye from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at some of the stocks that were in play today. Okay, first up, let's take a look at SDRL. Congrats everyone, nice follow through here, closed up 42%. That was an excellent move today. It is hitting the 70 overbought zone on RSI at 69. It did pull back from 80 on Fasto. The pullback from high of day did lower Fasto from overbought levels. There was a parabolic spike here on plus DI. So the big move today was the close above the 100-day simple moving average. That is the gold line. That is the key level to turn into support. That's currently at 40. That's also lined up with EMA 4 at 39, and then the top of this this descending resistance line. So it's the top of the previous channel. So on a pullback, you want to see that level hold and turn into support. If that broke, the 50-day simple moving average at 32 would be the next support level to hold. EMA 8 is at that level as well. So there was a long upper wick that did form on today's candle, so that did show profit take-in, possibly a little dilution. The candle did form or did close well above the upper Bollinger Band, so sometimes when this happens, the candles will work their way back into the bands. Notice there was a giant volume spike today, so it did look like a climax spike. What happened was that the share price hit this July the 25th closing price right here at about 52, about 52, and it failed to close above that level. It needs to close above that level to head higher and test the next key resistance zone. If it fails to break that 50, you could see it pull back and consolidate. As long as the middle Bollinger Band holds, the uptrend is intact. If it can break above this 50 zone and then get above this 60-65 zone, then we would be talking about a potential move back up to the 200-day simple moving average at 127 and the the 200-day simple moving average at 127, and then if you look here, that there is a gap. So we would be talking about this gap as well. It's hard to see on this chart, but the bottom of the gap right now, the gap is lining up here with the 200. So yeah, we'll just see what happens. This is a really nice move for SDRL. There's really big volume behind the move. We'll see if if it can push higher or if it's going to consolidate before it makes that move past 50. Okay, let's look at DUST. It's starting a new uptrend. So this is the gold miner bear 3 times. So gold has been under pressure, and then as you can see here, we've got RSI now at 53. So RSI is heating up. It'll be very bullish if it can stay above 50. Fasto is now back above 80. There was a bullish crossover here in ADX with plus DI crossing minus DI to the upside, and so on Monday there was a close above the middle Bollinger Band. That's the dotted purple line. That was signaling the start of a new uptrend. Today's lower wick on today's candle did fill the gap between high of day on Friday and low of day on Monday. And so as long as this middle Bollinger Band holds currently at 22.28, then the new uptrend is intact. The next key level to break is going to be this 50-day simple moving average at 26.14. That's the next target if the middle Bollinger Band holds. If it drops below the middle Bollinger Band, then dust will no longer be in play, and then nugget will be the play. And then if you look here, there was a big volume spike. So dust is starting a new uptrend here, and the Fed did speak today. So yeah, so this is not looking good for gold right now. If dust continues holding the middle Bollinger Band, that's going to signal downside risk for the gold miners. Okay, let's look at CUR. Okay, this stock is heating up. It had a bullish move today. We want to see RSI get above 50. It's at 47 right now and at its highest level in quite some time. If you look here, you can see you have to go way back into July to see the last time RSI was at this level. So the chart is really heating up, and Fasto is now above 80. You've got a bullish crossover on ADX with plus DI crossing minus DI and ADX to the upside. And so the bullish development on this chart today was the close above the top of this channel. I know there's a lot of lines here, so it's a little bit difficult to read, but there's this tight sideways channel. Notice the Bollinger Bands got super tight, and then today there was a close above high close horizontal resistance. That was the closing price on August 29th. That signals more upside potential. So we want to see that level turn into support. You want to see the share price stay above 129. If it drops below 129 and closes below that level, that'll signal that it's still consolidating and not ready to go. If 129 holds, then we'll be talking about a potential run up here to the 50-day simple moving average and the bottom of the gap currently at 204. Notice there's a gap back here, and so the bottom of the gap is now lined up with the 50-day simple moving average. That is the target. There's going to be some resistance on these levels where it was walked down. Notice there was some good volume through there, but yeah, the 50-day simple moving average and $2 is the target if $1.29 holds. There was a parabolic SAR bullish flip today. There was a big volume spike. Yeah, the chart's really heating up, so keep an eye on CUR. Okay, let's take a look at AMRS. Okay, yeah, it's you know, in the bull zone on RSI. It's at 66, so but you know it's right below 70. You've got the bullish crossover on Fasto. Now it's back above 80. So the bullish development on this chart was the close today above the 100-day simple moving average. That's the gold line at 363. If you could see here, there was multiple days where that level was tested and it failed to break. And so today the close above was very bullish, but it also closed at high close horizontal resistance, which is the September 13th closing price, basically at 370. So it needs to break above 370 to head higher, and then the next target is this resistance zone from back here in July and the start of August, and that's basically at 410, you know, just a little above 410. It's going to need a break above that level. So you know, there is you know, 10% upside potential between the current share price and this next major resistance zone. If the 100-day simple moving average turns into support, it needs to break above 370 and stay above the 100-day simple moving average to be a good play with the setup, or to continue pushing higher. This has a very nice uptrend going. An uptrend started back here at the start of September when the middle Bollinger Band turned into support. On a pullback, the big level to hold will be this 50-day simple moving average at 313. So AMRS has a nice uptrend going. If you see a close above this 410 resistance zone, that would be very bullish, signaling more upside potential. As you can see, it's in the process of filling the jar back to that level. So yeah, this has been a nice play. It looks like it's almost got like a cup, and then maybe it's got like a handle going over here. So yeah, and then this would be considered the neckline. But yeah, that could be a stretch. But yeah, this is AMRS has been really bullish, and it broke resistance today. So we'll see if it can continue heading higher. Okay, let's look at RADA. This is a defense stock with all the overseas, you know, with all the craziness going on. It's good to look at the defense sector right now, and RADA has really been heating up. It made a very bullish move today. Now, if you look at the previous history, RADA runs when it's above 80 on Fasto and above 70 on RSI, when it's in what we call the power zone. And so it's hitting 69 here and getting ready to break into that level, and then it just broke into Fasto above 80. And if you look back here, this was the last time that it broke above those levels, and then notice how it ran for a couple of weeks and made a huge move. So this is signaling the potential start of a new move higher, a new breakout higher. ADX is showing the same thing with the plus DI crossing ADX to the upside. It's clearly showing the bulls are in control. So for a while now, we've been watching the stock, waiting for a break above this 310 resistance level. Notice how it was hit back here on the August the 23rd, and then it failed to break. I mean, for 2 weeks in a row, it tried to hit it. It tried to break it with the close above, and it couldn't make it happen. And then it pulled back. It held support. Then it came back and it tested it again, and then failed to close above. And then finally today was the day. It closed above key resistance. So now we want to see 310 turn into support. That's the stop loss level. You want to it's a good play as long as it stays above that level. If it drops below 310, that's going to signal consolidation and potential reload levels lower. But this is signaling that possibly it's going to be breaking out and heading to the next level higher. There's a parabolic SAR bullish flip. The green dots are now below the candles. There was a big volume spike behind the move. That's always what you want to see if you're a bull and a stock is breaking resistance. Notice that the 12, 26, and 9 MACD is pinched. Okay, so if this MACD line crosses over the signal line to the upside, that'll signal the possible start of a new uptrend, similar to back here. Notice that this was was the start of the last uptrend, and at the same time there was a MACD bullish crossover. And if you notice here, that happened on the last run as well. This is the 8, 13, and 5, and it signals before the 12, 26, and 9, and it has already crossed over. So we have multiple signals here that a new uptrend is starting. So we're looking for RADA to push higher. If you look here at the RADA weekly chart, each candle represents 1 week to trading on this chart. This is like a 2.5 year chart, and so you can see here it's got this really nice breakout this week. Last week it closed above high close horizontal resistance, and then it's breaking out higher. Notice the candles are riding EMA 4 and 8 support higher. Notice how they've basically been riding EMA 4 the whole time, except for this little consolidation here down to EMA 8 and 13, but EMA 8 held, and so this is super strong move, just very, very bullish. And so right now it's hitting this resistance zone back here around 350. That's going to be the key level to break, and it looks like it wants to fill the jar back to this $5 level. So yeah, if it can get through the 4s, and that's showing the resistance back here in July of 2015, that's going to be a huge level to get through. But yeah, we'll see. This is very nice. It looks like it's filling the jar back up to 5. Let's take a look at WAC. Okay, so this stock had the after hours news yesterday. It had a huge gap up open, and then it formed the black candle, the dreaded black candle after a bullish move. Okay, so this is the strategy when you have a stock that's in an uptrend, and and it gaps up open. This is the open up here, and then it pulls back and it starts forming a black candle. That's your signal to lock in gains and to go to the sidelines. That's a signal that even though it's well up on the day, the bears are actually in control, and it's signaling downside risk. And the big risk is that there's a gap. There's a gap between high of day yesterday and then low of day today. The day started off way up here, and so the candle worked all the way back, but notice it didn't quite fill the gap. It came all the way down to 67, but the gap fill is at 65, so it needs to hit 65 to fill this gap. So that's what we're waiting for now. We're waiting for this gap to fill, and then a possible drop down here to EMA 4 at 615. It could head higher without filling the gap, but if it left the gap unfilled, that would give the market makers a target in the future to pull the share price back to. So it would be better to fill the gap now, get it over with, and then head higher. Many times a gap fill is a catalyst for a bounce, so keep that in mind. To the upside, it's got to get above this 100-day simple moving average at 847. In order for it to head higher, it needs to close above that level and turn it into support. So that's a key level to break to the upside. We want to see this gap fill, and then the key level below is this EMA 8 and the simple 50-day simple moving average at this 54, 55 level. That would be the level to hold if this the bottom of the gap and the EMA 4 didn't hold on a pullback. Notice that there was a giant volume spike today. Okay, so this is bearish divergence. Even though the share price was up on the day, the bears were in control. If I had accumulation distribution indicator here, it would show a big spike down. Okay, so let's take a look at ARGS. This stock is heating up. What you want to see is FASTO and RSI, or RSI up here and FASTO both break above 50. That would signal the chart is really heating up and building strength. There was a bullish crossover on ADX, and so today the bullish development for ARGS was the close above the middle Bollinger Band. That's this dotted purple line. It closed above 19.6. It needs to stay above that level to be a good play. If you look back here on the 6th, it closed above that level, but it didn't hold and it pulled back. So another close above, a white candle closing above the middle Bollinger Band would be a bullish change in trend, and that would signal a possible new uptrend starting. Notice how there was a nice volume spike today. Check out PSAR. It's now at 0.223. That's these green dots. When the share price hits that, they're going to flip below. That's going to signal the possible start of the new uptrend. Notice that we've also got the EMA 4 okay, is the pink line, and then check out the lime line. That's EMA 8. Notice how they're pinch. If that pink line crosses the green line to the upside, that's what we call the EMA 4, EMA 8 bullish crossover. You could see it back here. This is a early reversal signal, and so what we would want, what you want to see is that to happen, and then the candles to start riding the EMA 4 support higher. So the chart is really setting up the next target to break to the upside is the 50-day simple moving average here at 0.235, and then the closing price on the 6th, and then the upper Bollinger Band. It's basically between 22 and 23. That's going to be a big resistance zone. If it can close above both levels, it could run back up to the 100-day simple moving average at 32. There was a bullish crossover today on MACD on the 8, 13, and 5. Okay, thank you very much for viewing this video. If you'd like to learn more about charts and technical analysis, check us out at mychartcoach.com and our YouTube channel at mychartcoach.com. Thank you.